is an outlet for me to de-stress. So which means that if I've had a hard day of work, I just have to cook. I know to some it seems like I'm adding stress, but when I cook, it's just relaxation. It's just me and my cooking.
So there was a couple of times when I asked him some of these coaching questions, right? Like, okay, so what do you want to focus on next, etc. And then he looked at me and said, "You're not a PT coach. Don't ask me this question." So then I have to revert back and say, okay, as your mom, I want to know what are you going to do next.
Hobby can be a little bit more intentional. So it's not like something like, when we have time, then only we do it, or when I need it, only I do it. Then it's actually at the bottom of your priority list.
Yes.
So I think be more intentional in developing a hobby that you enjoy. Can help you to de-stress and all this. Welcome to Se-ibu, the podcast where we trainers talk about anything under the sky in between boardrooms and our family. So today, we have an interesting topic on hobby. Well, let's begin. So, something very general to start with. What does hobby means to both of you, yeah? Anna and Shireen.
Anna, you want to take first?
Okay, it's an outlet for me to de-stress. So which means that if I've had a hard day of work,
Okay.
I just have to cook. I know to some it seems like I'm adding stress, but when I cook, it's just relaxation. It's just me and my cooking. Yeah.
Interesting to link hobby to de-stress.
Yes.
Okay, what about you, Shireen?
Hobbies. Hobbies are very interesting question that I always ask to my participants, right? So, what do you all do in your free time? And most of the time, they will say sleep. So, probably sleep is one of their hobbies. But for me, a hobby is a place where you can not only de-stress but also look at, expressing yourself. Putting your passion into something, right? Because it also helps to balance, the stress of work, but at the same time also helps you to explore a side of you that you never know, right? So it's this left brain, right brain kind of thing as well.
Wow, just a simple question on what does hobby means to you. I'm hearing de-stress, I'm hearing passion, I'm hearing way for you to express yourself and also to explore something that you didn't expect that you could do. Well, for me, I'm more inclined to what Anna said. It's more for me to de-stress. But I also kind of agree with what Shireen said. Over the years, as I explore and venture into new hobbies, I also find myself go into a territory where I didn't expect I would love it. I would love it. It's not just the can do, but it's the like doing it that make me continue. Does that sound kind of like something that you have in mind too?
Yeah, it resonates. It does resonate. And I think, our generation especially, when we were younger in school, you will always have this question or, essay that you have to write, my hobby and I, right?
Yeah. I think my ambition, my hobby,
Yes.
what I want to do, all this. You're right.
It's a standard essay
Yes,
question,
yes.
whether it's in Bahasa, Chinese, or English, right? You have to write one essay on this. And when I was younger, one of my hobbies was actually collecting stamps.
Okay, I had that also.
Yeah. So quite popular collecting stamps. And eventually that evolved into other sorts of hobbies that I picked up, when I was younger, it was dancing, and then eventually it was art. And yeah, so that kind of like resonate with me on what this hobby does for you as well. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, didn't know that. Well, we have common hobbies when we were younger. Yeah, but talking about younger generation these days, I'm wondering whether from those little kids that you interact with, or maybe for your own kids, do you think their hobbies are in a way similar? Because nowadays everybody say, oh, handphone, game, maybe it's a matter of what game you play. But it becomes standardized that everybody or kids these days play game or
Right.
hook on the digital devices. I don't know. What's your thought on this? Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just share. Like
Sure.
my son loves cooking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he has a pizza oven, a uni pizza
Oh
oven.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that, and he's so proud when he prepared that
Yes,
feast
And-
for the family.
And then recently we bought him a spiral mixer. It's the
What is a spiral mixer? Sorry.
okay. The mixer is just for making dough. So the dough
Ah.
gets really even and you can put up to 5 kg. So the interesting part was the mixer cost quite a lot. It's over 2,000 ringgit.
All right.
And I thought over it and I told my husband, regardless of whether he's buying it for my son or not, I'm going to buy it. And my justification was, look, it's a hobby. He's passionate about it. It's a good thing that he's not asking for, like a new laptop, some gaming device. All he wanted was just to cook and to bake. So this is something I should encourage. So I think it's not common for someone to have this hobby. And it resulted, after he got it, he was so happy. And he asked me, Mom, is it weird that at my age I'm wanting these things? So I said, no, not at all. Because I thought that it's really nice. You have something, cooking is your passion. And if I can afford it, I will encourage you. Yeah. So I thought that, different. So I think different, 3 kids, they all have different hobbies, very different indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hobbies don't last because it's just a
Short.
short hobby. But my son has shown interest in cooking since he was very young, maybe about 2-3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to ask that question because I know you are a good cook. Looking at what you have in your kitchen, no doubt about it.
Thank
So,
you for thinking
just
so.
because
Yeah.
we talk about mothers, right? So I think talking about hobbies. So now that you say that your son loves cooking,
Yeah.
so does it take from you, or maybe the kids see the mom is good at it, and then they start to develop their interest in it?
Okay, I think one way to encourage, it depends, yeah. But for me, one way to encourage is your kid is going to make a mess. Some mothers, they do not like mess, so they say don't play with it. Like for me, it's an opportunity for them to have fun and take photos and videos. They can look silly and it's their safe zone. So I encourage my kids in that sense. So even from young, they used to help me with almost anything. And I would buy a special knife for my son to use to cut, which can be quite scary, but we know the knife is blunt, so we have to watch. Yeah. So I think if it's normal, I think even adults, if we are told not to do something, then
Alright.
we'll just stay away. But if, maybe I'm not very good in cutting veggie, and you are, let's say you're very good at it, and you say, never mind, let me do it, then in the end, I won't develop the interest. But if you allow me to do it, doesn't matter how nice it is, the interest will slowly be developed.
Yeah, I like that point that you just mentioned. Is how we mothers create a kind of environment and provide a kind of encouragement to our kids for them to, coming back to what Shireen said just now, explore something new.
Yeah.
With the exploration, maybe I discovered there's something I like.
Yeah.
To me, it's actually the reverse. When when my girl was about 2-3 years old, she likes to do artwork.
Oh, yes.
Do
I
painting,
remember that.
drawing,
Yeah,
and
she
all
was
those.
really
and I
good.
didn't touch all those things since I left primary school. I picked up from her. I picked up from her, and I started to paint and draw, and it's actually wonderful for me to go through the experience just like your son, that I rediscover my passion and my love in art making again. So it's the other way around.
Yep.
What about
Wow.
you, Shireen? Is it this way,
Wow.
that way, or multiple way, or whatever way?
Well, hearing from both of you, I'm just so inspired and amazed at how the flow of hobbies go back and forth there. Yeah. But also, I think for me and my children, I think the hobbies direction or flow was more explosive.
Wow.
Explosive.
Explosive, right?
Okay.
So what happened was for my elders, right? He took up, workout, right? Gymming and building himself, etc., as a hobby. So while I do exercise, etc., but what he does is very different, right? So and how do we support him on that in his way of exploration for what he enjoys doing as well. So sometimes, I also sense that the need to support one another, right? So he will tell me, okay, I need to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym, right? Because
Wow.
that's when the gym is empty, right? So I have to make sure that I can at least get up at 4:30 to wake him up. But most of the time, 4 a.m. he's already awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things like he wants to buy, the wrist grip, a set of weights and things
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like, what is that now? How do you do this? And things like that. So it's also an interesting way for me to explore what is going through his thinking process, what inspires him, what does he want to do it for. And yeah, when he comes back, he starts to flex his muscles and show me what is developing, etc. I'm like, okay, why are you showing me? So even though it's not as interesting for us, but it's also to show keen interest in their results for it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder how do you say, because for Anna and your son, right?
Yeah.
Because both also love cooking.
Yeah.
But for you, I'm hearing, okay, my son loves it, enjoys it,
Yeah.
and okay. So how do you say it in the context of supporting him?
Okay. So it's like, okay, what did you work on today, right? So,
Okay.
what was the challenge? How many bench press you managed to do today? And,
Oh.
what's your weight, etc. So have to get into the lingo of their hobby as well. And when we show interest, they also show interest in our hobby, right? So like for me, it's painting and art. So on and off, I do see that he will come and look at what I'm doing and say, oh, how come is it like that, right? So it sort of like inspires both parties to,
Oh, yeah.
to support one another. Yeah.
And I think one thing I like about it is I think you are using your skill as a coach to ask question. Hey, how is it now? What do you mean by that? How many rounds you do? I think by us being curious, because
Yeah.
your son is what, 19?
He's 20, yeah.
He's 20, right? When you ask question, it shows that, my mom wants to know more. And then by me telling, the empowerment starts to flow in. That's what coaching is all about, right?
Yes. Oh, but very funny thing when you mentioned that, right? So there was a couple of times when I asked him some of these coaching questions, right? Like, okay, so what do you want to focus on next, etc. And then he looked at me and say, you're not a PT coach, don't ask me this question. So then I have to revert back and say, okay, as your mom, I want to know, what are you going to do next?
Oh yeah. I think sometimes when kids they kind of like can gauge maybe okay, is this a very professional question I'm getting from my mom or genuinely from a mom?
Yeah.
So as a mom, how I do that? For me, it's like it's also a mixture because one of my hobbies is actually studying astrology. So my girl is 19 this year. So these days she becomes a little bit curious about what this astrology is all about. So I started to kind of like share with her a little bit. But how I share it, I usually link it back to her study, her day-to-day life. Sometimes also talk a little bit about her friends, what her friends' character is like. So that helps also being a trainer because we have many profiling tools.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
know a little bit of psychology. I think even as a coach as well. So when I link it back to that, and link the astrology to her day-to-day life, what she's going through now, and her friend personality and all those things, well, I sense that, hey, this also becomes an area she's quite keen on. And she started to, how do I know? She started to also watch TikTok, watch IG on related topics like this. So again, like you say, explore and then let's see how it goes from there.
Yeah. I think what's important is to really accept that different people have different hobbies. And like at one time, my daughter was collecting, I think, the figurines, and some were quite expensive, can be about 200, 500 ringgit. But we shouldn't judge because of course she saves up her money to buy it and so on. And when she didn't have the interest anymore, she sold it all off. you know, yeah. But we just have to understand that we cannot expect people around us to have the same hobbies.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Oh,
it can
yeah.
be quite different.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I, as a mother, and also my job as a trainer, I do my best to understand what the other person is doing. So at one time when my son was younger, gaming was the in thing. So he used to play Legend of Zelda, all these RPG games, and then Genshin Impact, and then there's many more. So
Yeah.
I even downloaded it and tried to play it. So
Wow. I salute you.
I'm not very good at it, but at least I know what it's about in that sense. Yeah. So I won't try to download, try to understand it a bit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just try to understand.
Yeah. That's a very important mindset
Yeah.
as mothers, as parents. How we, instead we say no, 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 but
Yeah.
we also try to explore into their world
Mm.
for them to see that, hey, we at least try to understand the gym thing and then to understand the
Yeah,
gaming
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so we may not like it. It may not be our interest or
Exactly,
hobby.
yes.
But yeah, at least we are there to know what is it all about. It reminds me of one of the trainings I do is all the multi-generation, how are they different? There was once I heard from my class participant, you know, I get so sick. Every time my dad tell me he likes to go kampong there. Why can't your hobby be go to kampong, go to nature, and then go to whatever it is. So those days we climb trees. You see, you
Yes.
do game every day. So I find that's where the gap starts to happen between parents and kids. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think it's an evolution as they also grow.
Mm.
But what I've also noticed now that you've brought that up, right? When we were younger, we had times when we were bored, right? So
Yeah.
that's how we started picking up some of these hobbies, right? Because we had nothing to do. There wasn't gaming, there wasn't, iPad and all these digital devices then. But when I look at my younger son today, how does he fill up his time? If not for the iPad, right? And that's where I guess in today's generation, they will automatically resort to the digital devices, right? And why is that? Because when we are at home after a hard day's of work, right, we resort to the digital devices as well. So automatically they think that when you have free time, digital is the way to go. So I also try to consciously make sure that when I'm at home, I actually try to practice these hobbies in front of them. Like whether it's
yes.
journaling,
Yes.
writing,
Very good idea.
and not just because I've done with the day, I'm so tired, I just resort to lying down and doom scrolling, right?
Yeah,
So
now I feel a bit
they
guilty for
they
doing
will see
so.
it, right?
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. And if I think the last time we were together for the podcast, you mentioned digital detox.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was staring at the fan, sitting down.
Yes.
And
Oh yeah, digital
I
detox.
that was really funny. And you know what? I actually did that to myself as well,
Yeah.
because I think I was looking at too much digital stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
I just took the day off and I just do what Shireen did to her son and do it to myself. It worked, and I felt much better after that. The next day, I
Yeah.
feel more refreshed.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're always on that dopamine high, right?
You are right. You are right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after one's reel after the other, and I feel that that's where we as working moms as well, just have to be a little bit conscious of our own me time as well. Right?
Yes, yes.
So what is it that we are resorting to our me time? And I also, if I need to doom scroll, I will make sure I will hide in my room and doom scroll.
Smart. Let's hope
Not in front of them.
Let's hope he doesn't watch this episode. Okay. So I have a question for both of you. Hearing what you've said, when should you say the hobby is enough? I mean, not to say quit the hobby, but you've had a lot of it for that day and it is enough. When do you tell yourself, okay, I'm too much into it already. I have to pause for a moment. Yeah. For you, when is enough?
Okay, jotomate kudasai. I always say that. Okay, I wonder what makes you have that question, Anna?
Because okay, I would like to hear your answer first, then I'll share with you
Sure.
why.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chop first, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Okay,
you
okay.
go first,
Yeah.
Shireen.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's when you feel a hobbies should be pleasurable, right?
Okay.
And there's this saying, right? We as artists, we as painters as well, we paint to de-stress, but then we get stressed when the painting doesn't come out right. So you've done a little bit too much when you start to get stressed about it. Yeah. So then it defeats the whole idea of having that hobby, right? When
Right.
it becomes a pressure point to you. So especially in art, I always say there is no wrong or right in art, right? It's always just an expression. And end of the day, we have been conditioned to look at things from a perfect and non-perfect way.
Yeah.
So, your hobbies are yourself, you don't have to conform to any norms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no one's to say 15 minutes is enough, 1 hour is enough, 1 day is enough. It's okay. Whenever you feel enough is enough, it's enough.
Okay.
I see. Interesting, because before I share mine, because what the question Anna just asked reminds me of, because just now you talk about boredom. That's where they start to get into the digital whatsoever not, because
Yeah.
dopamine or whatsoever not. But on the other hand, when we get into it and we get indulged into it, you find
Yeah.
it so pleasurable that you want to continue, and you find it you can't stop, so it becomes addiction.
Yeah.
That's I think where you're coming
Ah,
from.
okay, an
So
addiction.
I think for me it's like I don't know. For me, my personal practice is I'm very mindful, because it's like how I do my time management. I allocate certain portions for work, for whatever me time, for whatever hobby I have. And I attend class to learn more about astrology, this and that. I read books, I research a bit more. So, but I'm always mindful that 2 hours already. Okay, let's put it aside. Or else I go into that whole rabbit, whatever it's like,
The rabbit hole.
rabbit hole, and then
Yeah.
I keep wanting to know more. It's a knowing ball that fills my mind, and it's very very interesting. I don't know more. I don't know more. So it's that kind of satisfaction or pleasure I get that sometimes make me stuck and can't come out. So I'm mindful to plot accordingly my time, and I try to also only do it on weekends and things like that. So
Right.
that's me.
I see. Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me the answer, or gonna share yours first?
Yeah,
Okay.
what about you, Anna?
I think you mentioned the right word, addiction, because similar to you, my answer will be both of yours. Like similar to you, if I enjoy something, I'll go really deep into it until I forget time. And I think that, you know what, I can cut my working time and spend more on this because I enjoy this more. Yeah. Then after that, it doesn't become enjoyment when I realize that work has caught up.
Okay, okay.
But in terms of, let's say, when you don't enjoy a hobby, it's like, let's say, for example, I'm cooking and I'm making cookies. So I love making cookies. But when I have too many to make, then I'm really so stressed out already. Then I don't enjoy it really. So
Yeah.
for myself, I need to know when to stop. When to stop. So there's been times where, let's say, if I'm really too involved in an activity, or I find that it doesn't add value, I will just stop it completely. Yeah, I'll just stop it because I find that I'm investing too much time in it. Then I'll just stop. Yeah, this
Very
one.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like playing online games, for example. Sometimes whatever online game you play, if I find that I do get addicted, definitely, I'm also human. But if I find that I'm investing too much time in it, then I'll just delete it. Yeah.
Interesting point there, because
Yeah.
like you say, but your mind, when do you tell yourself that it is enough? Because addiction means
Yeah.
not enough. Wow,
Yeah.
one more. So
Yeah.
what that point? How do you kind of like pinpoint that point, and then what do you tell yourself? What makes you really put it
Okay.
off?
When I put the activity in priority of my family.
You put the activity.
Yeah. Which means
okay,
like
I see.
I want to do the activity more, and then I maybe, let's say, like spend less time with my children, or like pick them up late. Then I know, oh, this is bad already. So it has become an addiction. So I will just cut it. Yeah. So the trigger point for me is when I invest less time in my own family, or when I take up my whatever time and use it for something more pleasurable, which I think I can do away with, then it's too much already.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Good point there.
Yeah.
Do you have
Wow.
moment like that? Because you were saying that yours is.
Yeah, mine
you
is
don't go
actually
into
the
addiction.
opposite.
Mm.
I find I don't have enough time
yeah.
for the hobby, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's like I could just spend, 10, 15 minutes just painting a background. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because that's the only time I had, and everything is just set up there. So I was just like, okay, let me just do this before I leave home, and just like that, right? It's just to
You're
to
very good to do that.
to have that time to say, okay, I've find some pleasure today, in whatever little spot of time that I have. And sometimes also I realize that if I feel too pressured to make sure that I must do a 30-minute painting or something like that, right? Then I realize it's no longer a hobby, it's become a pressure point. So I will take a step back and say, okay, let me just do something else, go for a walk or take a rest. Maybe it's my body telling me that, or my mind telling me that I need to just rest. It's not about doing more.
Right, right.
Yeah. And I like that fact that you brought up that, because it created this question in me, must hobbies have a value to us, right?
Oh, hang on, must
Right,
hobby
because-
has a value to us.
Yeah, so like what is if it no longer serves you, right, then you put it aside, right? So it makes me think, okay, maybe why we got into the hobby in the first place, right, is to have that outlet, that distress
Yeah.
time, etc. So once it's contradict to that intention, then I think that's where the value becomes different already.
So for you, what's your value of investing that time?
For me, now that I'm older,
Okay.
I think there are many, many studies and behaviors that also show that people with hobbies actually have better cognitive, behaviors later on, better, mobility, etc. when they are older, better, brain-body connection and all that, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that is the long-term value that I see. Not so much as like, okay, today I managed to do a beautiful painting, right? But it's to the entire process of, okay, what is this color? What brush do I need to use? What is
Yeah.
happening? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I not happy while painting? Why am I rushing through it? What is not working here?
Right.
So it's that entire process that makes you continue to think.
Oh, very deep, huh?
Yeah, versus
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
very deep.
Yeah. I can resonate with that
Yeah.
very much because another hobby of mine is actually journaling.
Ah,
When I go
yes.
into that mode of how I see myself, reflection, awareness, and then write more, and then why is it like that? Ask myself, wow, I can go on for 1 hour plus 2
Yes.
hours just
Wow.
in front of that paper, journal further. I mean, make the linkages further. It's like, wow, so much a discovery about myself.
Yeah.
And that find that values kind of like really make just now I say I plot the time. Okay, this is the one I have to confess. When I'm in it, I find it quite challenging
Yeah,
to
that's why
actually
I
come
cannot
up from
just paint art is also one of my many hobbies.
Hmm.
So I cannot just spend 15 minutes in it. Definitely it will be more
yeah.
than that.
But
yeah,
for
so
Anna
Yeah.
who likes cooking
Cooking.
and enjoy cooking, well, actually, I find I'll be very fortunate to be your family member.
Yeah,
Even
please.
friends also
Yeah.
cook a lot of food for us to eat. Okay, definitely that's one of the values I get. But for you, the cook. So what value do you get from it? When you see people smile, I mean, they enjoy your food. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't cook.
I think I'm just happy
Mm.
that even if they don't eat it,
Uh-huh.
it's fine. I'm just happy making it. Does that make sense? I'm just
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Sometimes I have so much energy in me. I just have to expense it.
I get very angry one of the reasons I don't cook is I get very when I cook and then spend a lot of time, people don't appreciate and then they comment on it, they give feedback on it. So that's why I quit cooking. So anyway, another secret
Hey,
I
as
reveal
a
today.
trainer, we must take feedback positively.
Yeah, I hope so. But it's really so devastating the whole process, the feedback to me. So so But I'm really surprised to hear what you just said. I don't mind just cook, even people don't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's no problem. I don't take it personally. Like if I mean, very truthfully, my son is a very good cook, and if he continues, he's gonna be 10 times better than me. Yeah, because he will like it's very stressful with him. Like for
Very
example,
stressful. In what way?
making bread. He asked me, how do you make bread? Oh, I just follow the recipe. I said, and what is that? 2 cups or 3 cups of flour, this, that, and that's it. And then he asked me this question: what's the science behind it? I said, mommy don't know any
What's the
science.
science behind?
Just
Okay.
how many teaspoon and follow. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need to know the hydration rate and this and that, the
Yeah,
procedure.
yeah.
Okay. So
Very deep already.
so I'm not like that. I cook from the heart, and if I find that my 2 cups work all this time, it's just going to be the 2 cups. When I find a recipe that's good, it's just going to be that recipe. Whereas he will continue to innovate, test this, 3 different samples. Wow, it's like. So he's like, he needs to be very precise, which is why I think he's going to study engineering, chemical engineering. I think it's he'll,
Oh, chemical engineering.
yeah,
and
yeah,
cooking.
yeah.
I think he will be I think he'll be great at it because he's so detail oriented. Yeah, so which is a total different spectrum of me. So
see.
I think in short, for me, not only cooking, I as I'm sitting here, I discovered why I like to do the things I do.
Oh.
I like aesthetics. I like things that are pretty.
Yes.
So
Oh, so pretty. The thing that you
so,
do. Okay.
so that's why even gardening, I like gardening because I like to make my garden pretty. Or if a terrarium, I like to make it pretty. If I'm sewing, I like to make my whatever I sew pretty. So I just like pretty things. So I don't mind he cooks and I do the plating. I love doing plating. So I just like making things pretty. I think
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I think that that
that
is
kind of
something
sums it
nourish
all, right?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of nourish us.
end
The
product.
the end
Yes,
product
yes,
and the
yes.
process of how you and your son both cook, right? I
Yeah,
think but
different,
again,
very different.
Yeah, very different thinking, very different process.
Yes.
Very different again outcome could be.
Yes,
He can
yes.
maybe I can have 3 types of bread with the same recipe from your son.
Yes.
But at the end, you get it decorated and do the
Yes,
plating very
yes.
nice. Yeah. Wow. Okay, maybe well, would like to hear from you all. Yeah, I think how now that we are talk about this topic for a while on hobby. So reflecting what we just spoke for the past half an hour or so, what's your takeaway in your mind now hearing our conversation here?
Wow. I'm just thinking of working moms.
Yeah.
Whether we had time to have hobbies, right? And I was just thinking about when I was in corporate before, from the age of 23 right up to, 40-ish. Actually, it was quite a challenge to establish a hobby. You have a lot of interests, but you simply didn't have the time at that point in life to be able to incorporate it inside, right? Growing a family at that point in time,
true.
kids were small, were young and it needs your attention, and you were also at building your careers, and there's a lot of travel happening, etc. And I realized that this could be some of the struggles that our viewers may have, right? Our friends may have. They could envy us. Wow, Lily, you have this hobby. So nice. You can spend, every morning, going for your runs. And now, wow, you can bake. You got time to bake. And Sherry, you got time to paint. But this was not always the case. So I would like to say that, it will have its time.
Yeah.
And, just don't lose hope and don't lose that passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even those days when I didn't have a proper time to have hobbies in my life at that point in time, but I still enjoyed art. Whenever I travel, I would go to an art gallery. I would go to the museum to look at art, right? Art pieces. I would journal or, do some form of the hobby that you want to explore. And eventually when you have a better balance of timing, you will be able to put it out, right?
Yeah.
I think where a lot of, even some of my close circles, right, they are not able to do this because they think, oh, I just don't have the time and I just kill it.
Right.
Yeah. And it doesn't help because then one day you will just burn out and you will say that, okay, I'm just going to not do anything.
Yeah. True,
Nice,
true.
nice.
Actually,
Yeah, so
that's
this is what's
Yeah.
coming to me.
Yeah, yeah.
what you shared is so real. I think
Yeah.
we all have been through it, especially when our kids are younger. I'm just going to share with you what I did to achieve all my hobby, all that. Just call it integration, hobby integration. Okay.
Okay.
So since like I love sewing, I used to make clothes for my kids. So for Chinese New Year, so it's like integrating, right? So you save
Yes,
money,
yes.
it's for them, right? I make curtains, whatever, yeah, and cooking. So it kind of, luckily I like to cook, so it's fun because they also have to eat, and or let's say gardening, because I have a garden, so I still have to maintain it, so I just enjoy it. So kind of integrate. And at times when my kids were going for their tuition classes, ballet, I would take my bag, whatever's the hobby that I was having at that point.
Yes, to do
And
it then.
yes, I will be like knitting or sewing or whatever, just like integrating it. So
Yeah.
you can, if your hobby can touch part of your life, you can actually integrate it. And you will find a way to enjoy it. Yeah. But like I said, one tip is cooking. Don't worry if people don't eat it because you don't want to kill the interest. So it's okay.
It's your hobby.
Yes,
It's your
yes.
hobby.
Yeah, like what
Exactly.
she said, like, it's not outcome oriented, not nice or whatever. It's a process of you
Yes,
accepting
yes.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. For me, my takeaway is after this conversation here is I think what I want to say here is hobby can be a little bit more intentional. Yeah, can be a little
Yes.
bit more intentional. Like you say, when you don't have time now, maybe later you're going to do it somewhere somehow,
Yes.
that kind of thing, and then you integrate it. So it's not like something like when we have time then only we do it, or when I need it only I do it. Then it's actually at the bottom of your priority list.
Yes,
Then
yes.
forever you're not going to explore one. So I think this conversation also brought me thinking about this. Be more intentional in developing a hobby that you like, you enjoy, can help you to de-stress and all this. My final question, I would like to look back to what Shireen said just now. As a trainer, sometimes when you ask a participant, what's your hobby? Then they say sleep. Okay, now my question to you is, as a trainer and you have this participant telling you sleep is my hobby, if there is only one phrase that you're going to say to this participant, what would you tell this participant?
Oh wow! What
anything
okay.
mind.
Then they will know my secrets already. Yeah, and I must admit it, right? When I was younger, I used to say that to my teacher, also, right? Because we didn't have. Whenever free time we had, because of studying and extracurriculum and all that, we slept. Right, so and I would normally tell participants, great, sleep is a great way to rejuvenate yourself and rest. Right, if I can, I also love sleeping. Yeah, and sleep is actually been found in research a great way to actually help your body recover. Yeah, and I would say, okay, so after that, when you wake up, what do you do?
Very coaching oriented.
Yes.
Still must have action plan.
Yes, correct. They have to wake up at some point, right?
They have to definitely they have to wake up at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I like that. What about you, Anna? What would you tell the participant who say, sleeping is my hobby?
I wish I were you.
Excellent.
Because I love to sleep as well. That's something I don't get enough of. So
Okay.
that would be what I would have said to them.
I see. Yeah, you love sleeping and
Oh,
you don't
yes,
have
yes,
enough. Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point also, because sometimes, I remember when we were in corporate as well, we did not have enough sleep, right? You had to
Yes.
work late to finish up whatever work you had to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to rush to work early in the morning to beat the traffic.
Exactly.
And it's a cycle for the whole weekday. And the
Yes.
weekend is when you got the time to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So I remember Saturday afternoons, right? I would really love a good nap between 2 to 4, especially after a banana leaf
So
lunch.
short, should be longer.
Should be longer.
indulge.
If you have young
Pleasurable.
kids, they won't let you
Yeah,
sleep
yeah,
for long.
no
That's
chance,
why.
huh?
Yeah. So I think it's also to acknowledge that fact that it's okay, right?
Yes.
But what else is there? What else do they like to explore? It's just to tickle their mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I've been trying to think of the question I asked you all and now I have to answer
What's
too.
your
Yeah.
response?
I really can't think of one phrase that tell the participant. Maybe what I will do is yeah, I will maybe check from the class how many more people are like him who like sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think having to acknowledge that hobby, that you're not alone, I think that is what I learned from you all just now. Maybe the next thing I would like to check is also, other than sleeping, what other things do you all do? So I think also from other people's perspective, to give this person another views of other possible hobbies that they can actually develop. We talk about giving us a chance to explore something new, right? So maybe having said that, why I do so, I'm actually tapping on what Anna said just now, is about creating the environment, supporting them, to know that you are accepted, but at the same time, there are also other people, maybe during lunch or whatsoever, you can check it out about other hobbies and things like that. So, yeah, really don't have a very definite answer for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, well, we are at the end of this topic on hobby.
Hobbies.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say before we close the session?
I think that nowadays there's so many hobbies out there.
Yeah.
It's nice to get to know each other's hobbies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I think just to close, sometimes, work can also fuel your hobby, right? Because some
Yeah.
hobbies can be expensive, right? So, that's where you want to also make this loop back to, making sure you work, and also fuel your hobby at the same time. But I think, have fun with your hobbies, and you don't have to stick to just one hobby all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, make it work for you.
Yeah. I think the hobby these days for people, maybe perhaps the younger generation, will be traveling,
Cafe hopping.
food
Yeah.
hunting, all this, and of course sleeping, because sleeping is okay to me, because I've got a friend and she says that she doesn't like to go on weekends because her social quota is up. So she's had
Yes.
enough already at work meeting people, and she not don't I mean she loves people, but then during her downtime it's just her time. Yeah. So I think today the hobbies might not be like collecting stamps anymore.
Yeah,
because nobody writes letters these days.
Oh, but got a lot of people collect different type of stamps now.
A different- oh,
No,
okay.
journaling stamps.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, like you say, different generations, and now plenty of choices for
Yeah.
hobbies they have and all those things. So, regardless what generations we are in or what hobbies we have, I think accepting people who choose sleeping as a hobby or gaming as a hobby, still a hobby.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a matter
Yeah.
of what time.
Yeah, they are still
this is the phase of
interacting.
time that
Yeah.
you are. So, well, I think that will be what I want to say before we close the session today.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.